Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while we connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started in just a second here. Okay, I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swings Trader. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well, hope you're having a great weekend so far. And we're going to turn to the charts, take a look at some swing ideas for next week, take a look at the market and see what we can figure out together. Before I start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below the video. So make sure to click on that if you have not downloaded it already. With that said, let's get started. We're going to go over the market and then we'll go over the swing ideas for next week. If you find benefit in today's video and you'd like to help support our channel on Facebook, on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. And if you have any questions for us, reach out to customer service by emailing us info@t3live.com. info@t3live.com. All right, with that out of the way, the market. So when we talk about the market, what is the market? Well, the market is all the publicly traded stocks out there. There's probably close to 25,000 companies that are actually publicly traded, but a few of them make up, I would say, 50% of the market. I mean, Apple alone is larger than the 2,000 companies in the IWM. I don't know if you knew that, but Apple alone, that's one company. The top few companies in the country, which are all tech stocks, Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, those are the top five. I think Tesla is now probably bigger than Facebook by market cap, but just the top 5 or 6 account for over 50% of all the NASDAQ. So when we talk about the market, what is the market, right? IWM has been really weak and the Qs is at all-time high. So we just have to keep that in mind, that we have a divergence right now between the among the different indices, mostly between the Qs and the IWM, or the SPY is at all-time high, so it's still bullish, but the IWM has been weak. We had a breakout and I'm surprised we didn't produce any follow-through. We broke out 3 weeks ago basically on the IWM to all-time high. We are not producing any follow-through. We'll wait until this month is over, and if we break under it, then that would be a bearish sign for the market, but that's too early to tell. For now, the market remains bullish. It's just very top heavy. It's mostly driven again by add NVIDIA to the mix also. I forgot about NVIDIA. So it's mostly driven by Apple, which by the way I called as we already have it from back here in the newsletter, but I also called it in the day trading room. I added 250 shares, so I have 500 shares in Apple right now. Last week, so that was really nice. But it's driven mostly by Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA. Amazon broke out on Thursday. Friday it ended up being a red bar, but guess what? If we take out Friday's high, that would be really, really bullish for the market, but also for Amazon, because it's been basing for a long time at the all-time high for a year, over a year probably. So it looks higher. We just need to take out Friday's high. Which is 37.62. Okay. And then it should be bullish. And then we saw Tesla double bottom on the daily chart. NVIDIA's at all-time high, close at all-time high. So again, the market is very, very top heavy. So I expect to still continue to get a run up, but at some point we'll have some kind of a rotation, right? Out of maybe the high-tech stocks and into the other companies, more maybe the IWM, the small cap stocks. So we'll see, but for now the market overall is bullish, but it just depends on what you consider to be the market. If you're looking at small cap, weak, large cap, especially tech stocks, really strong. So again, it depends on what we consider to be the market. In terms of the swing ideas for next week, I have an amazing list. I have AMRS, which is not a typical type of a play. Most of the time I play with the gap. You saw the CHGG, it was the first thing on my charts. So I get the gap down, and then most of the time I play with the gap, but this would be a counter trend trade. Over 740 long, stop under 680, target $10. Pretty nice reward to risk. If you look at the weekly chart on this, that's a nice spot at the flat 200 MA, that red line, which usually acts as support, as a floor. So I like it higher. ARWR looks good, it gapped up, and I like it over $72 long. It's an hourly based breakout over 72. I would give it the stop under 68. So that's a $4 stop. Target 1, the prior high, and target 2 to the moon. No, target 2 would be $93, okay, or somewhere there. So I like it. It's a monthly buy setup on the ARWR. ATRA is a weekly monthly buy setup. That's a transition A buy setup. So I like it. It already triggered, but I still like it with a large stop initially over Friday's high, which is 1850. Stop under 1630, $2.20. Again, large stop, but this would be a long-term play. Long-term play. CTHR, this is more of a daily buy setup, probably a weekly breakout. Yes, it broke out a couple weeks ago. Still looks good. Still looks higher. And then that's the monthly. Looks decent. It's been basing after breaking a 5, 6, 7 year base on the monthly chart. Been basing bullishly. Really has a void all the way up to $7. So I like it long term if it can take out 332. Stop would be under $3. 303, but I'd give it to $3. Okay, and I like it over 332. FCX, like it if it can reverse Friday's bar. So if it takes out 39.27, really like it higher with a stop under 37.69. If you look at the weekly, that's a weekly based breakout. If you look at the monthly triggered the buy setup already. Okay, so I like the FCX, but only if it takes out 39.27. The NETI is like the AMRS, is another counter trend trade. It's called the gap fade. So as a base breakout over, I don't remember the exact price, 920. Stop, I would give it to 840, but one can also put the stop under 877. Okay, and then target 1 would be the gap fill, which would be this bar's low, about 1017. Target 2 would be the overlapping candles right here, maybe around 1175, 1150 for target 2 on the NETI. PCG, I already have a position in it, is a transition A breakout on the monthly chart. If a stock is down multiple years in a row and finally starts to print narrow range bars, the 20 MA starts to curl and point up on the monthly chart, that is likely the bottom. That's likely to lead to a breakout. We call it a transition A breakout. Okay, so it's the first transition A. I like it a lot over 1275 long with a stop under 1197. It's a 50-cent stop, no, 60-cent stop. Long-term trade. Okay, as a long-term trade. PCG is PG&E. PSEC looks beautiful on the daily chart. It's a base breakout, long over the base, stop under it. It's a I think a bank or some kind of a financial, and I don't like to swing those. I don't like to play real estate. I don't like to play banks for the most part, and I don't like to play utilities. This one looks decent. Again, it's a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly and a daily base breakout. So over the base, long, if it takes out the base, stop under it. Okay, PSEC. If you're in the strategic swing trader program, feel free to log on to your account and you'll see which plays I picked for my own account and for the newsletter, obviously, for tomorrow. So feel free to log on, take a peek if you'd like. You can, if you want to participate, put the orders in the system already like I have. Or if you'd rather wait for the email, that should hit your inbox tomorrow morning around 7:30 a.m. East Coast time. The PSTH is a SPAC and it's got a 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart. So I like it a lot over 2031. stop under 2018. Really tight stop. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. So 2018 would be just under the space. I would give it, I would say that's 2018 actually. Maybe I would give it to 2012 to be sure. So safer, I think. Over 2031, stop under 2012. Probably not gonna rock and roll, but you know, if it pops to even just 21, this bar's high as 2090, it'd be huge because it's all about the reward to risk. So it's a very tight stop. That's your risk, right? Which is the difference between your entry price and your stop price. And then the reward is the difference between your entry price and your target price. So the target would be around 2090 versus, and then the entry would be over 2031. So that's a 60-cent stop. I mean 60-cent reward zone. The stop would be about 20 cents. So that's 3-to-1 reward to risk. So I like it a lot if it can take out 2031. SEDG is a long-term play. I like it. Solar stock, I have the CSIQ long, which is a monthly buy setup, is another solar stock. I'm bullish on all the solar stocks. I got shaken out of the JKS and I'm waiting to get in it, to get back in it. But I'm waiting for an entry. It actually has a breakout over the base right there, stop on the red bar. It'll be a really, really big stop over 65 bucks, let's just say. Stop under the red bar's low, which is 58. So it's a $7 stop. Like it a lot. I'm in the CSIQ and I'm looking to play the SEDG if it can take out the all-time high, basically. If it takes out the all-time high, like it higher, stop can be as tight as 352.20, or if you want to be safer, 338. Okay, on the SEDG. SPH is a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly chart. 1, 2, 3 means the igniting bar, the resting bar. So we got the igniting breakout bar, the narrow range bar, and then if we take out the highs of both bars 1 and 2, whichever is higher, that would trigger the pattern, the one, what I call the 1, 2, 3 pattern. So over 106.50, stop 102.40. Okay, looks beautiful. And then SUPN is a longer term trade. It's similar to the PCG. It's a transition A breakout. Already kind of broke out, but I still like it over 34.50 with a stop under 31.50. So it's about a $3 stop, long term trade. The shorts, we got a pretty good bearish list also. AFIB, if it can break under the base, so that would be a short. Under the base, stop above it. So figure out what the lowest point is in the base. In this case, it's 343. That would, the entry would trigger if the stock broke under 343, and then the stop would go over 3. I thought it was 384. I see 370. Oh yeah, 383. So it's about a 40-cent stop under 343 short, and then the stop goes over 384. Okay, and it's, since it's an all-time low, don't have a target for it, so one would have to manage it. Okay, so that's the AFIB. BLI is a base breakdown on the daily chart under 2250 short, 2250 short, which is this bar's low. Stop would be over, I would say 2470, and then target 18 bucks, 1780, but let's just say 18 bucks. BMBL, Bumble, my second favorite app. Short on a weekly 1, 2, 3. Short under this bar's low, which is 35.90. Stop over 39.41. So again, 35.90 short if it takes out 35.90, and the stop would go over 39.41. The Dcph is similar to the AFIB, but it's already, you know, kind of triggered already. Like we have multiple red bars in a row, but it looks lower still. I'm in some of these PRPX, I think. Is that right? PRPX? Nah. So I'm in a couple of stocks that looks just like this, that gap down a lot and are breaking down, but I don't remember the symbols off the top of my mind. But this looks lower. Okay, just like the AFIB. IQ, gap down, a couple of doji bars, so short under 687, stop over 722, but I'd like to give it a little bit more room, so I would say instead of 722, I'd give it, well, that's 744. That would be a little bit too big. Maybe it's 727. Okay, just to give it a little bit more room. But I like it a lot under 684 as a short. Okay, a mile broke down already, has kind of a 1 2 3, so short under 268 with a stop, I would say, over 297, 30-cent stop. Okay, NVTA, that's one of the ones that I was trying to think of, that gap down, triggered short, and now actually has a 1 2 3. Another one I just thought of, VMEO, which I'm already in. I have 1,000 shares. So as I said, I have some of these, the ones that gap down and then broke down. This has a 1 2 3, by the way. It's not on the list. Looks good as a short to add to the position under 2045 with a stop over 2145. NVTA, same exact idea. Short under 1880, stop over 1980. Wow, what are the odds? NVTA and VMEO. VMEO, exactly $1 stop in both cases. $1 stop. ODT is very similar to the IQ. Gap down, broke down, a couple of doji bars, so short under. If it breaks under, stop above. So what's the low? 180. Stop would be over 215. Okay, so it's a 25-cent stop. Smart is a 1 2 3. Gap down, and let's take a look. We just want to make sure it's also below this bar's low, which is 978. So short under 974, correct? It's below it. 974 with a stop above it, above this bar's high, which is 1018. Okay, VIPs 1 2 3, just like the IQ. So we have a pretty decent bearish list. The last few weeks it's been mostly the bullish list that's been good. This week I think the bearish list is even better. So I like this one short under 972 with a stop over 1034. Okay, notice how the stock dropped from $45 to $10, and I still like it short. This is why we don't get married to stocks. Okay, because sometimes they just they go to zero almost, right? We're short in another stock that's down a lot like this. I mean, the Viacom, VIAC. Just take a look. I mean, tell me this doesn't look lower. See it? And it dropped from $100, I think 102, 101 and 97 cents. It's at 33, and I like it a lot short still. To maybe down to 28, I think, to the bottom of the base to 27. So again, we don't get married to stocks because sometimes they go bearish and there's no recovery almost sometimes. Okay. All right. Last but not least is the XL, which is similar to the mile. So it's not my favorite, but it's got a 1 2 3. I have a lot to choose from the list. Unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly which ones I'm going with because you have to be a subscriber to get that. But all the items on the list are solid. I'm not going to do every single item, but there's a bunch that I will be taking if they trigger. And again, if you'd like to be a subscriber, check out the links in the description. You can try out the newsletter for the first 30 days for just, I think, $47. So check out the link in the description. But with that said, hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you have, hit that like button please, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. On Thursday we have Thanksgiving, so I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving because I won't talk to you until next week. Take care, everybody. Ciao.